Hi guys, today we are going to talk about AJAX. What is AJAX? Well, AJAX is really simple. It's just a request which sending to the server without reloading all page. So for example, if you want to see preview of some video on YouTube and you just put your mouse under some video and it show you some preview. So this is happening by AJAX. It just took this uh, event uh, of mouse over, and when you mouse over on some video it sends requests. So all this request happening thanks to AJAX, and it sends request to the server see which video you want to preview, and it loads some content for you very easily. So to send request in JavaScript, we need to write a lot of code. So for example, if you saw my lessons about JavaScript, you know that we need to create XML HTTP request, and after that we need to add a listener which will listen event on ready state change, and it will run a lot of times. So if we need to know that request was end, we want to wait while ready state will be equal to 4. And also we need to check that status is 200. Yeah, and after that we can work with it. And of course we need to open this request, and then we need to send it. There is a lot of things we need to write to send simple request. And JQuery changed everything. It makes it works in one line. It's really cool, and you will see just in a minute. But to work with requests, we need to use Tomcat. So Tomcat, this is server, and we will communicate with the server. It's just simple application. There is a lot of server applications like EASE, Apache, JBoss, and many others. It doesn't matter. We will use Tomcat because, well, I'm using Tomcat. So we need to download it, and we Google download Tomcat, and we go by the first link. Here we just need to download zip file. Well, I will not download it because I already have it. So here it is. Here is my zip Tomcat. I need to extract it. And yeah, here extracted file. Now I need to run it. To run it, I should go to bin folder, and here I have a startup file. Well, there is two kind of files. Startup is sh and bat file. Bat file for Windows, sh is for Linux and Mac. So I'm in Windows and I'm running startup bat, and my server has been started. I can open my browser and write here localhost 8080, and I will see such page. This page, this is information from web app folder, and here we have root folder, and here it is index.jsp. So here I see content of my index.jsp, so this is just some HTML. And to see some another page, I can, for example, create page, let's call it hello HTML, and here I can write hello world, and here I can use it. I can say I want to see hello HTML, and here it is. So I see content of my hello HTML page. It's so simple, as you see. And now we can work a little bit with AJAX. So now we can communicate. We have a server has been started. We can work with him using localhost 8080 this URL, and let's work a little bit. So first of all, we need to create some folder where will be all our code, and we just put there our AJAX HTML file. Well, this is just usual files that we already has been used many times. And here we can write our first AJAX. Well, let's do this. We can download some data, but what kind of data can we download? Well, any data. For example, we will create some small example. We will create a file like data.txt, and here we say hello world. Yeah. And now in our AJAX file, we can write like, well, we can take our lm file. Well, this is just this file, and we can make AJAX just using method load, and we can say that we want to load from data.txt file. That's all we need. Well, I can change here. Let's call it hello first AJAX. Let's call it like this. Now I can go here, and here I can say that I want to see my JavaScript and AJAX HTML, and here my file AJAX HTML, and all my AJAX is I can see through network. So as you see, here my AJAX HTML was loaded, here my JQuery JS file was loaded, and now if you open this file, yeah, I need to add here the dot, and now I can run my AJAX. So let's reload page, and as you see, my AJAX was sent and I got information hello first AJAX from the file. So it was downloaded using additional request to the server, and we load this and we set all data that came to our div element. And if you would look at our network, here you can see data.txt. So this was our AJAX, and here we have URL which we can use to download this is data. As you see, if I ask for JS data.txt, it will load this data from this file. It's so simple. So as you see, this is my AJAX, and it use method get. As you know, in AJAX we can use get, post, and many other methods, but usually we using get and post. And we have status 200, and we have some additional headers, as you see, all of them described here. So this is our request. And using so simple code, just in one line, we can send AJAX requests. Also, we can send some additional data, like additional data to the server. And now, if I reload my page, you can see that there is some additional data. Yeah, there it is. So it was sent in our URL, like using usual way, adding some information to the URL at the end. So we can send some additional data to our server if we need it. And also we can add some specific event handler. So when our AJAX request will be done, we can write some code that will be run when all data will came to us. So here we can add some function which can get some text, status, and JQuery JQXHR. Yeah, so this function will run when our request will be finished. Here we can console log our text, our status, and our JQXHR. Yeah, just like that. So now I can reload my page and we will see in our console. So this is the text, this is status, and here some additional information which describe our request, like our text, our status, and some additional information, just like that, as you see. Very easy. Also, if let's say we have here some HTML, for example div, let's call it like second and third, but here we can have now div, we can have span. So what if I want to download this HTML, but I want to download only divs? Well, jQuery help us with this. With it, we can make it just like that. I can say that I want to download only divs. Whoa. And here, as you see, I download all information. Here my response, but there was showed only divs. So using such notation, we can tell which elements we want to see and we want to show. Very easy. And also, what if we want to work with JSON? Well, we can do it easily. Let's create some file like JSON, let's call it txt, and here we can have some JSON, like for example a equal, let's 5. I can download this data too using our JQuery, but I can do it like this: get JSON and here JSON txt, and it will load this data for me. So if I rerun my code, you will see this JSON txt which download data. And also I can send some data, like for example I can send some object and I can say, well, it has b and b equals 6. So if I rerun, you will see that we have additional information in our URL, and of course it's in the end, and we say that b equals 6, so it was sent in our URL path. Very easy. And now I want to get some data and do something with it. For example, console log that. I can use function which contains some objects, here status and JQXHR. And here I can say console log my object, and it has a. So what would happen? Well, actually it will send the request to my JSON txt file, and it will get data from it, and there would be some object, and this object will be put in my first parameter, like this O, and this O will have field A. Well, it's cause here in JSON we have field A, so our object will be look like this. It will have A, and A will be equal to 5. So let's rerun it, and if you look in console we see 5. So our O really has field A, and it's really equals to 5, as you see. Okay, great. Let's go further. Also, we can download some JavaScript. So for example, you have some let's say page which contain many games, and to run specific game you need to run specific JavaScript file. So you don't need to download all JavaScript files, you just need to download specific one, and for this purpose you can use JQuery. So let's create some script GS. Here we can console log something like this, and now I can write like get script JS, and now if I run my code I can look in my console and here test from script. So my script was downloaded and it was run too, so that's why we can run our script using jQuery, and this is really cool, as I think. Okay, great. Let's go further. Also, we can use not just get. Actually, we can use post. So, for example, here we get JSON. Also, I can download some information using notation get, and it will send some information, and here we will have text. So I can before that we use load method, and as you see load method works good. It can download some data and put it in some element, but sometimes we need to use just get. We need to say we don't want use load, because load can use get and it can use post methods. We need to use just get. For this purpose we can use get notation. It looks like this, and actually we don't put anything in specific element, we just making get request. So just like that, as you see I set get request, and I download some data, and here data that was downloaded using this request. As you see, really easy. And also you can use post. So if we rerun it, you will see here that it was downloaded by post. So as you know from JavaScript that we have two methods. Well, we have a lot of them like put and a lot of others, but usually we use get and post. So to send post request we use post. To send get request we send get. So also we can send some additional information like this, additional info. And if I send it using post, as you see I have post. Here I have some additional information, so all my additional information would be set in the body. Well, actually it's using form data. Well, when we create form using HTML and we press submit, all information sent in as a form. So here it is. But the main difference between get and post, that get use all information it's in URL, it contains all information in URL and it doesn't have body, but post it has body and it send all information in body. So here it is, here body of our request, and here we get it. So that's the way to send post requests. And also we can use AJAX. Well, it works almost the same way. We can say what exactly do we want to download as first parameter, and it will download it. Well, as you see here, my request. But our AJAX is very flexible, because as second parameter I can set a special object which describe all options and all properties of this request. If you look at documentation of this method, you will see that we have as second parameter we have settings, and settings can have a lot of fields like accepts, async, before send, cache, complete. Well, there is a really big amount of options that you can set. And of course, if I will show you all of them, like, yeah, this is like the first one, it accepts, and this is a second, and this is a third, it would take a lot of time. So I don't really want to, and it will be very boring for you. So I just set couple of them, about other you can read if you want to. And so let's make it. Well, actually you can set URL using this notation, just like this. If you want, you can do it using the first argument, or you can do it setting URL through options, through settings. Also, you can say that we want to use type request like post, and we can use some timeout like 500 milliseconds, and something like this. You can set a lot of options. And when we send it, so here is post and data.txt, so we was sending using this AJAX method, and here is our settings that we want to use. And well, of course we can use some methods, like for example when complete, we can set some function which will cancel log complete. And for example also we have like success, which will run on success. So yeah, as you see, it was success and this method was run. Complete. Yeah, here I forgot letter P. Let's rerun it. So when I send my request, when it complete, was run this method, was run method complete. when we saw that it was success, it ran method success. So you can add a lot of methods like on fail, on uh, some other events, and you can add a lot of settings here to send this AJAX request. And as you see, it's really easy. But also there is a really cool thing that you can do. You can add some, let's call it additional events that jQuery create for us. So, for example, well, let's add some div. Let's call it ID log. Okay. When AJAX happening, it's also create events, and we can listen these events and add some logic which run when these events happening. So, for example, this code, this success and this complete runs only for this AJAX. But we can listen all AJAX events and add some additional logic when some request happening. So, for example, let's create variable log which equal log, and it's our div as you see. And here I can say document on AJAX stop AJAX success or AJAX complete. I want to run function which has event, and here I want to add to my log, I want to add some text which will contain log text and plus event type. And now if I run, you will see everything what happening. So AJAX complete was there was event which call AJAX complete, and here we handle AJAX complete. And if I add s here, yeah. So what happened? We send AJAX. Here our AJAX was sent here, and when it was success, jQuery fire AJAX success event, and here was run our code which handles this event as AJAX success. After that, jQuery run AJAX complete event, and here we have code which handles this situation. And in the end there was AJAX stop, and we also handle this situation using this code. So using so simple ways we can use jQuery to send AJAX request to our server. And as you see, this is really easy. And yeah, that's probably all for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.